Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues, it is with great pleasure that I stand before you today at this distinguished international symposium to share and discuss the slides we have made, our research, which deals with the architectural identity of Mediterranean as a heritage to preserve. Our study, titled The Typo-chronological and Typo-morphological Methods for the Identification of Architectural Models of Heritage Building in Algeria, field that, as we all recognize, is pivotal for dealing with specific buildings with an important historical and technical background. The research performs into contribution into the novel aspects of the methodological aspects to analyze the architectural typology of lighthouses. This significant contribution could contribute to scientific achievement of recognition to build the heritage architectural identity of maritime lighthouses. Our presentation, which followed the following structure. Research focuses on maritime signaling devices, in particular lighthouses, in an interesting form of coastal composition and planning which has shaped the maritime landscape throughout history. It concerns the historization of Mediterranean maritime lighthouses by questioning the future of these specific architectural models in the face of their automation and humanization, contextualized on the maritime lighthouse of Algeria inherited from the 16th and 19th centuries. Our problem was initiated from an observation of the Algerian context around maritime lighthouses, an important architectural heritage, a substantial corpus, but in danger. Out of around 30 lighthouses, only 2 lighthouses classified in the name of exemplarity. It is more essential to first know them, to better recognize and preserve them. For that, the research question is formulated as follows. What architectural identity for Algerians maritime lighthouse? What is the model that characterizes them? To answer this question, we have put forward the following hypotheses. First, the typo-chronological model of the Algerian lighthouse imitates the model of the universal lighthouse. Second, the Algerian lighthouse adopts the model of the metropolitan lighthouse common in modern times in Europe with local particularities. From this proposition, study will be used on the historical, architectural, and heritage aspects, hence the need to identify in order to know and now in order to better recognize. Going from universal context to Algerian context, we have employed a methodological approach, utilizing a comparison between the two universal and local contexts by the application of a crossing of the two methods, one historical called typology and the other scientific called by typomorphology to arrive out our findings. Our results indicate the specificity of the Algerian lighthouse model. The main research tools used from the historical analysis are the archival and chronological documents, and from the morphological analysis are the form exam and the facade examination through the use of GPRS method called segmental and contrastive structuring. This section was based on the analysis of Algerian archives found in France, more than 20,000 documents. For the typological analysis, we traced the most important typologies according to different research, which are drawn up as phenomena, with from the geometric shape of models and from the morphic analysis model. In its historical aspects, the research drew on the origins of the maritime lighthouse in the world through the history of the idea to the object and its chronological evolution. First reports were promontories, mausoleums, cathedrals like the Libyan towers, temples with a bronze basket at the top. The most famous ancient lighthouse is that of Alexandria in 297 before Christ's birth. One of the wonders of the world, the best known but not the oldest. The oldest is the tower of the promontory of Sigia. The chronology of a universal lighthouse has been schematized in the following figure diagrams. Traces evolution of maritime lighthouse around the world, and the evolution of maritime lighting sources and major moment in production as a technical history of lighthouses. The same approach was applied to the Algerian context, illustrated by the following figures and maps indicating the existence of lighthouses during Antiquity and the Middle Ages in Algeria. In its analytical aspect, this research is summarized through these diagrams utilizing the typology of universal maritime lighthouses, and also the morphology of the universal lighthouse according to their chronology. Their crossing generated the diagrams resulting from the intersection of typo-chronological and typo-morphological approaches to universal maritime lighthouses. As for the Algerian case, the figure in front of you shows the diagrams tracing the typology of Algerian maritime lighthouses, which distributes the chronological intervals of the models of the Algerian lighthouse with the route traces noted from the documentary references of the old period, in particular antique, medieval, and Ottoman, modern period before and after 1960. These are the maps and the corpuses of lighthouses that existed on the Algerian coast before the French colonization, during it, until the present day. Here are some examples in picture. The following is an analysis protocol carried out on the corpus of existing lighthouses, from general to specific, an application overview. At the end of this analysis, it was possible to carry out a classification of the lighthouse according to several parameters. Classification according to site, area, accessibility, material, order, etc. Followed by an abstraction of the template allowing us to deduce types and variants according to geometric composition, which reveal the variation of the morphological structure of the lighthouses of the corpus depending on the section of the tower and its base. Moreover, we have noticed a variation in the degree of ornamentation of the lighthouses towers, the corpus notably variation in facades. The richness of the architectural decoration of the lighthouses was examined by the method of segmental and contrastive structuring. Subsequently, allowing us to count in a table of the elements of the architectural decor of Algerian lighthouses. At the end of this analysis, a correlation of the results of the different planimetric and altimetric reading levels of the lighthouses reveals the typo-morphological diagram of the Algerian lighthouse model. In the light of this data, the cross-referencing of the results from the two typo-chronological and typo-morphological methods gives us the typology of the Algerian lighthouse model. We have an old model of the antique type called Alexandrian and of a medieval type called medieval dungeon. Modern model is represented by the type of the beacon lighthouse, the type of the metropolitan. Later refers to the column. And finally, the contemporary type model, like shown in these examples of each model and type, is to highlight that Algerian lighthouse has specific characteristics. We call the patio, the roof terrace, the interior galleries. In light of this study, it is also essential to highlight the lessons learned from the analysis of the Kaksin lighthouse, which demonstrates that Kaksin lighthouse is a representative and exemplary work of Algerian lighthouses. Finally, the heritage approach applied to the sampling using the method SWOT to evaluate the heritage values of maritime lighthouses. Several values and dimensions are taken from these unknown architectural works as shown in these slides which follow. In what follows, a proposal for a development approach which generates asset management scenarios. We have looked at some notable and valorization projects which have been initiated to support maritime lighthouses around the world. To conclude on the architectural typological identity of the maritime lighthouse of Algeria, we can say about them that they are a incarnation of territorial and international policy dimension of the colonial domain. Their conceptual characteristics, academic and universal. They are the incarnation of the Mediterranean beacon of ICT rationality. In the end, it's a common technical network. It shared history. Personal heritage with destiny is in danger. Perspective with the current situation of ICT, preventive and adaptive observation must be undertaken. I would like to express my gratitude to my collaborator, Dr. Titirim, and everyone involved in making this research possible. I'm eager to engage in fruitful discussion with you all over the course of this symposium. I look forward to the exchange of groundbreaking ideas. Thank you for your attention.